What if I told you that building a massive nine-figure business has almost nothing to do with your idea, your funding, or even your timing? Well, in this explainer, we're going to distill 7 years of really hard-won startup experience to show you the one thing that truly matters, and that's your team.
So let's ask the big question right up front. What is that secret sauce? Is it some genius idea nobody's ever had, a ton of cash from investors, or just being in the right place at the right time? What is the one thing that decides if your startup is going to fly or just sink?
You guessed it. It all comes down to the people, to your team. That's really the core idea of everything we're about to talk about. A great team, a truly great team, can take a mediocre idea and make it incredible. They can even fix bad timing. But a bad team, well, a bad team will absolutely wreck a brilliant idea every single time.
Ready to build that dream team? All right, here's our playbook for today. First, we'll hammer home why your team is everything. Then we'll get into the 4 stages of growth so you know when to hire. We'll talk about picking a co-founder versus your first employee, give you a solid hiring playbook, show you how to actually keep your amazing people, and finally, we'll get into the founder's mindset that holds it all together.
Okay, let's kick it off. Your team is everything. Think about it like a sports team, right? You can have the best quarterback in the world, but if the rest of the team can't block, can't catch, can't do their jobs, you're not winning any championships. It's that simple. Your people are way more important than your product.
And look, this isn't just some textbook theory. The insights we're sharing come straight from a founder who literally went from sleeping on a phone pad in a single room to building a 9-figure business with over 100 people on the team. These lessons were learned the hard way, right from the trenches.
All right, so it's not just about who you hire, but also when. Getting the timing right is crucial. So these 4 stages of growth are going to be your roadmap. They'll tell you exactly when it's time to stop trying to do everything yourself and start building that army.
Okay, so stage 1, the fledgling stage. This is where you are the CEO, the intern, the janitor, you do it all. But then you start growing. You hit stage 2, let's call it the 1,000 rupees an hour stage. At this point, your time is valuable. You have to delegate any task that isn't worth that rate. Then, stage 3. Your time is now worth, say, 3,000 rupees an hour. You can't just delegate tasks anymore. You need to build actual systems, departments with team leads. And finally, stage 4. Your time is worth a fortune. Your only job is high-level growth. The team runs the day-to-day. That's the goal. And the engine that powers you through all these stages is delegation. I know. It's so hard. It feels easier to just do it yourself, right? Because you can do it better. You have to fight that urge. Your job as a founder is not to do everything. It's to find people who can do it better than you and then get out of their way.
Okay, so you're convinced you need to delegate, you need to hire. But who's first? This is a huge decision. Do you need a co-founder to share the burden, or do you just need an employee to get some stuff done? Let's break it down.
This is so important. A co-founder is someone you literally cannot achieve your vision without. They have a skill you don't have, something irreplaceable. They're in it for the long haul. An employee, on the other hand, is hired to do a specific job. They're super valuable, for sure, but they're not essential to the core vision in the same way. The biggest mistake is giving away a huge chunk of your company to someone who is really just an employee.
All right, you know what kind of person you're looking for. Now, how in the world do you find them? Let's open up the hiring playbook.
First, a warning. I know a founder who tried to save money by hiring 11 people on the cheap. He spent months and months training them. You know what happened? 9 of them quit. The 2 who stayed were the ones he actually paid a fair market wage. The lesson is simple. A cheap hire will cost you a fortune in the long run. It'll cost you your most valuable asset, your time.
So where are these A players hiding? Well, LinkedIn is an absolute goldmine, and you can get a lot done there for free. Job platforms like nokiri.com are great if you have a budget. But honestly, the best place? Referrals. People your current team already trust. That's pure gold. And hey, don't sleep on your own social media. You never know who's watching.
So there in the interview, a resume only tells you a tiny piece of the story. You got to dig deeper. Ask them to tell you their life story. It shows you their values. Ask about the biggest problem they've ever solved. That shows you how they think. Find out what really motivates them beyond a paycheck. And always look out for job hoppers. That can be a big red flag for a startup that needs stability. Now, here is a pro tip that will save you so many headaches. Your offer letter. It needs to be incredibly detailed. Don't just put a job title and a salary. Spell out every single responsibility and expectation.
Absolute clarity up front prevents a world of confusion later. Trust me on this.
So you did it. You built an amazing team. Job done, right? Ha, not even close. Now you have to keep them. Let's talk about growing your people.
So why do good people actually leave their jobs? It's usually not about the money. Not really. It's because they can't see a future for themselves. They look ahead and all they see is a dead end. No growth, no new challenges, so they leave.
Your job is to show them a path, a ladder they can climb. Let's just take a video editor, for example. They can start as a trainee, just learning the ropes. Then they become a full-fledged editor, then a senior editor, mentoring others. And eventually, they could become the team lead, running the whole department. When people see a clear path, they're way more likely to stick around.
And listen, growth isn't just about a bigger salary. That's part of it, sure, but real growth is about taking on more responsibility, making a bigger impact, mastering your craft. Giving someone a raise without giving them new challenges is just a temporary fix. People want to feel like they're getting better, not just getting paid more.
But you know what? All of these tactics, all of these playbooks, they don't matter if you don't have the right mindset as the founder. This is the foundation that everything else is built on.
You have to think about your startup like it's your child. You are its parent, and you have to care for it and for your team with that same level of insane, irrational commitment. It's not just a job, it's your responsibility.
Honestly, forget about what college you went to or how much money your parents have. None of that matters in the long run. The only question is, can you finish what you started? Can you stay dedicated when things get incredibly hard, for years on end? That dedication is the real secret.
You know how in college you'd make all those Goa plans that never happened? The plan had to exist as an idea first, right? It's the same with your startup. It has to exist in your head, clear as day, before anyone else will see it. The very first person who needs to believe in the vision is you.
At the end of the day, you're not just building a company or a product, you're building your legacy. And that legacy is built with people, brick by brick. So my question to you is, who will be your first brick?